guys, welcome back. Asad and I thought that today would be a great day to kind of show you guys how to keep your students' work organized. So I think that we are probably in week 4 of the whole distance learning thing. And by now, you've probably received lots of different assignments and little projects here and there from your child's school. And so you're probably wondering again how to manage and store all of that. So we thought we would show you what we're doing in hopes that maybe it might help you out. Okay, so first things first, you guys, this doesn't have to be super complicated. You can grab whatever you have around the house. So when we did it when we started it about 4 weeks ago, I just really tried to find extra school supplies that the kids kind of didn't need that I just had laying around the house. So for my first grader, I found one of these little composition books. Hold yours upside. We found one of these for Asada. She's in the 5th grade. I found this one for my middle schooler. And another suggestion, if you don't have any notebooks lying around, is you can always use a binder. Or maybe you want to use a binder with your students because it just helps with taking stuff out and putting stuff back in. So just kind of recapping the resources you'll need to kind of do this particular piece. You need some kind of storage device. Shake your notebook. Shake it. Storage device. Could be a binder. If you decide to go the binder route, make sure you have some paper. Make sure you have some dividers. You can also make these out of old manila folders if you have those laying around. I may just have them laying around because I'm an educator, but if you don't, then Post-it notes always work. And so I just grabbed a bunch of different colors of Post-it notes. And then the last thing you need, which makes setup super, super simple, is a pencil. Okay. So once you have your materials, you guys, this could be a really fun activity to do with your kids too. Especially for my people who like scrapbooking. I'm trying to get into that, but I just haven't reached that point yet where I could really do it with perfection. So this could be a fun activity, and it can also be an ongoing activity, something your kids could work on consistently over the course of time. So once you have your notebook, what you want to do is you want to divide the notebook in the number of courses or activities you have your student engaging in. So you already know that they're probably going to have to engage in the traditional math, science, social studies reading. But then you may want them to do some independent reading, and so you may want to add that as a section. For your middle school students, they may also have to do some work with their elective classes. So beyond the 4, you may want to add that as a section. Or there may be other activities that you want your child to engage in, maybe they like to draw, and so you want them to have a art section. Maybe you want them to journal, and so you may want them to have a journal section. Maybe you want them to collect fun words. I don't know. I'm just saying, however many sections you want your students, your child, because they're not students. But however many sections you want your student to have, you want to then say the number of sections divided by the number of pages. So I like to use, I'm very economical, and I don't like to waste stuff, especially paper. So back and front, these little composition books, they have 200 sheets. So I don't do math, but I know that there are 6 sections that I wanted my kids to have. So I just divided 200 by 6 and came up with a number. So then I had the kids sit down. Show your notebook. So then I had the kids sit down and I had them to number their pages. And so they numbered every page back and front. So I let my lovely assistant Asada show you the page numbering process, because out of all my kids, she was the one who was able to number her pages right the first time. So show them the pages to side to show them where they're supposed to go.
Well, so all the pages are supposed to be numbered front and back. So, like, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6.
So after they get all the pages numbered, what do we do next? Do you remember? Yeah. So tell them what we did next.
We divide them in sections.
Right. So we divided them in sections, and so I told you guys that it was 200 sheets. And so the first section just started on page number 1. Again, if you've been watching some of my other videos, you know like I'm a color person. You by no means have to be a color person. I am a color person. So we gave each section sort of like a divider tab so that the kids could quickly find them. And this helps a lot, I found, you guys, especially when they're in different Zooms at different times. And sometimes I'm able to be there with them and sometimes I'm not. But they know that they can grab their notebook, and if they're doing their Reela Zoom, they can quickly flip to their Reela tab. So section number 1 was just a history section for them. Section number 2, we did, science. Go ahead, take them through the sections. And say it loud so they can hear. And hold it. I'll hold it up so you can see too.
The third one is Reela, and third one is Reela. The other one is independent reading, and the last one is math.
So those are our sections. Those are how we divided them. I went ahead and gave each section its own color Post-it note. And I did that because, again, sometimes I'm able to help them and sometimes I'm not. One thing that their teachers have given them and one thing that their teachers have given me is like a list of resources that will sort of help them engage in their instruction. And so, like, for example, for math, they can use Khan Academy or Prodigy. And so what I did was I also put colored Post-it notes on the inside so that the kids could store their passwords and usernames depending on the subject. And so in my next video, if you watch, I kind of set up rotations that the kids can do independent of me, because some days, you guys, I'm sitting in Zoom meetings for my job like literally all day. Mm-hmm. But I want to keep the kids engaged and moving and, still doing stuff. And so I've sort of built stations in my game room, and I'll take you through those in the next video if you watch that. But they know when they rotate to certain stations that they're supposed to engage in different little online lessons or little online activities. And so the usernames and passwords are here. And so they don't need me. I can just kind of sit there and kind of be like adult supervision, and they kind of navigate their own learning. And it's really, really a cool thing to see, because I'm going to show you how my nephew, who is 3 years old, moves through these stations independently as well. Okay, so we've subdivided our notebook. We put in the dividers. We have our little resource tabs here. The colors, again, correspond to the subject. And the next thing that I did was I gave the kids like some time to do just some creative expression. And so we started talking about mandalas. And so they were able to create their own. So we're showing you some of their artwork. You can have your kids do any kind of cover that you would like. Again, you may want them to do something that is about family, something about values. Maybe you just want to let them decorate it, but let them decorate the covers. Again, it's a time for them to have a brain break and for them to just express who they are. The last thing that I want to show you guys about these notebooks that may be helpful to you when you are organizing your students' work is that there's also an opportunity for them to decorate like the cover page of each section. So this is something they could do like when there's some downtime. You want to show them? Well, Asada kind of started drawing on one of hers. Show them the your cover page that you started to work on.
I have this one on the side
Yeah, so it's not much. It's a work in progress, but the gist of it is that this is something that they can do, and then they just learn how to have their little storage place be a reflection of them. So we hope that you enjoyed the video. Asad and I are going to get out of here now. Please stay tuned. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Facebook. You guys, we go live all the time, and you can really, if you want some laughs, some giggles, and some kicks, you can really get those through our Facebook Lives. But you can also get really, great ideas for things you can do with your own kids. So Asad and I are going to get out of here. Again, if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. And we'll see you next time. Tell them bye, Asad.